What's up, you guys? You're back at the weekly show, and right now I want to talk about a big conspiracy theory, and that is the Mandela Effect. Have you guys heard about this?
Yeah.
Well, I don't know what it is.
Not as much a conspiracy theory as it is like
a phenomenon.
Yeah, but okay, so the Mandela Effect, it's when a lot of people have a memory of a specific thing that was very popular, but when you look back, that thing never actually happened,
Like
or
a
it's a
false
lot
memory?
different than you remember. And a lot of people have it.
Some of them are more extreme than others. Some
Yeah.
of them, it's very much just collectively people interpreting something the same way because it sounds a certain way. Like, a good example is Sex and the City.
We're getting to that one.
Okay.
We're getting to that one specifically.
Is this like when people call sherbet?
No, because that's just
That's
like
a
you say
pronunciation.
one or the other.
Yeah.
So library?
No.
That's
No.
It'd be like
Because
I grew
Sex
up in
and
the
the
hood.
City, but people say Sex in the City because you're used to hearing people say it fast and it kind of just sounds like
So
that. So
we're-
everyone collectively.
We're going to get to a bunch of examples, but some people think that we've actually switched into a parallel universe, or that somebody has traveled back in time, changed something, that then changed a lot of other things.
Okay.
Whoa.
Crazy.
And it's called the Mandela Effect because a lot of people remembered Nelson Mandela dying in prison, but then it actually came out that he died on December 5th of 2013, and everyone was like, oh, I thought he already died in prison. So that's a popular example, and that's why it is called the Mandela Effect. So some examples, one of the biggest is the Berenstein Bears. You guys remember this book? So basically everyone remembers it as the Berenstein Bears, but if you actually read and go look at the books, it's the Berenstein Bears. It's with an A. Did you guys read these books?
Well, clearly not very well.
I did, but I was gonna say something like it's that everyone kind of pronounced it that way, but like, does anyone say Berenstain like?
Stain?
Yeah, exactly.
Like
Stein,
if that's how it's
Berenstein.
pronounced, but that's how it's spelled, so people just like kind
Right,
of-
but then
Right.
everyone collectively always thought of it that way, so then when you look back, you're like, that's not right.
But the thought of a parallel universe and
Yeah.
time traveling is the most absurd thing
little-
I've
believe
ever
it.
heard.
I totally
yeah,
believe it.
thanks,
What?
Aaron Robinson.
Yeah, I believe
Hearing
it.
the
Because
title of a cartoon?
I feel like there's a parallel dimension happening right now. Have you guys not seen Stranger Things?
Oh, girl.
There are things happening right now that will change and alter the course of reality.
And I also think the time traveling thing too. If somebody has figured out time travel and they have gone back, one alteration could switch the course of somebody's
everything.
lifetime.
But
Butterfly
why would you
effect.
change Berenstein Bears?
Okay, well, how about Sex in the City? Let's throw out
things.
Sex in the City.
Oh, okay.
This proves nothing.
Well, I'm just saying, so even at award shows, there's a lot of clips where everyone always had thought that it was Sex in the City, but then when you go back and look at it, it's actually Sex and the City.
I've always
Well,
said
because
Sex and the City.
I've always said Sex in the City because when you
In.
say and quickly,
sounds-
it
exactly,
sounds
that's what
like
I'm
an
saying.
and.
It's just
Ain't no
collectively a
parallel
large-
universe.
That one's not
I mean,
parallel.
time is a circle, but still.
It's something like Nordstrom's.
Lily, you're
There's
just
no
a hater.
S on Nordstrom.
Okay,
Is
well,
there not?
I feel like there's a spelling issue that we have in our culture that people don't know how to read.
Right.
You know what it reminds me of is that I don't know what it's called. The effect where it's like if something's misspelled, like a sentence, all the words can be misspelled, but
right.
if it's like the vowels or something, that you can still read it.
If the vowels
Are
are missing,
gone.
yes.
You
it's
can
like the
still read
human
it.
brain just
reads the
plays tricks on
consonants.
you. So
Right.
it's like Sex in the City, Sex and the City. If you say it fast enough, they sound the same.
Exactly.
okay. Well, how
I
do
don't
you
think
guys
those were the
remember?
same things, but yes.
How do you remember the quote from Forrest Gump?
Life is like a box of chocolates. You never know what you're gonna get.
Yeah, it's actually life was like a box of chocolates, not is.
I have
Oh
one.
my
I have one.
God.
And look at even people promote it. See, that's not like if you go on the internet, all the quotes are life is like a box
Well,
of
yeah,
chocolate.
but that's like a meme.
But
Well,
that's
it's
still somebody that
grammatically
created that meme.
incorrect. You never know. As a life was like a box of chocolates.
Exactly.
You never knew. Not you
Well,
never know. It's
Aaron,
present.
I didn't make the movie.
I'm just saying, don't make me seem like I'm an idiot because I'm trying to make it grammatically
Hey
correct.
guys, I have one.
What?
You know, in I think is it Scary Movie 2? Then they go, take my strong hand, and the guy has his little hand. Really, none of you know that?
No.
Someone watching has to know what that is. And then we reference it in Beauty Break all the time. So one day I was searching for the clip to put it in there. He never actually says that line. It's just like something about his
People
hand.
created
See,
it.
it's
But like,
actually
literally,
crazy.
I can go through comments and people will leave, like, I've heard multiple people quote it, and that's not the actual quote.
I don't understand how us not being detail-oriented enough in our
Makes
lives.
it time travel?
Makes it, no.
Don't change your opinion.
Now all of a sudden it's an effect.
Well, hey,
I just
why
feel
not?
like people
There
are
has to
Well,
be a-
someone just gave it a name. It's not like a scientific, like...
Hey.
But when you give it a name, it makes it kind of a scientific
Well, you have to
thing,
categorize
you know?
these things into something. All the
One
people
recently-
trolling the internet for these things have to
Labels.
categorize it
Yeah,
like something.
we need a name.
Called stupidity.
Well, also known as the Mandela Effect.
Another one that Jesse just said in Beauty Trippin' the other day is Tostino's Pizza Roll. but
Yeah,
it's
and I said that
Tostino's.
too
But
in
that's
Cheat
also,
Day.
Yeah, people
and
are just...
Yeah, it's so weird. Another one,
me more,
Aaron,
give me more.
you'll appreciate this one. Star Wars.
Yes.
The famous Luke, I am your father. Well, look at this clip.
I am your father.
So it actually only says, no, I am your father. He
Right.
never says Luke.
Yeah.
And that quote is insanely
Everywhere, yeah.
famous.
Like in other movies, like reenacting it.
and they essentially
Yeah.
made that up. He never says Luke.
But here's the thing, most of the time when we're quoting these things like Sex and the City, or, well, when we're quoting the line in Forrest Gump where Luke, I am your father, I'm not actually remembering the film.
Right.
I'm remembering other people saying
telling it.
it.
And that's exactly
But
what
that's the
this
problem
is,
because
yeah.
it's popular culture that is remembering something different than what they're quoting.
It's like a game of telephone in real
Exactly.
life.
Exactly.
Yeah, that makes
Okay.
so much sense.
So-
time travel.
So it
Another-
has a name. It's called telephone.
No, it's called Mandela Effect. Another example is Chick-fil-A.
Oh, the spelling.
It
Yeah.
actually has a K, and nobody ever remembers that.
This actually really pisses me off.
Well, wait, so what is this showing us? Someone just got rid of the K in that?
the right one is the bottom one with the K, but everyone only remembers the top one because
Whoa.
if you
I mean,
ever,
honestly, when I look at a logo like that, I'm not really looking at the letters. I'm kind of looking at it as a whole.
Right.
Like, I feel like even I've gone to spell Chick-fil-A before and spelled it like filet, like Filet.
Right.
And then I was like,
Right.
that doesn't look right.
You're
And then
like-
I like look.
I'm trying to see if my phone will autocorrect Chick-fil-A.
No, that's also before I really knew how to spell Chick-fil-A, I would always make it one word, and it's.
Oh. Well,
Mine
so-
says CHIC.
When is anyone ever writing?
That's
Because
right.
that's how I
Who
type
writes
it.
Well,
Chick-fil-A?
me, when
all
I
the
go,
time,
hey,
like-
Aaron, I'm going to
I'm
Chick-fil-A.
like,
Do you
oh, you're
want
going to
to
Chick-fil-A?
Well, okay, maybe if you're not familiar with Chick-fil-A, you're
I do voice to
familiar
text.
with Deck the Halls with Balls of Jolly. La 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 la.
Balls of Jolly.
What is it, Holly?
I feel like that's the club remix version of WeHo.
Well, you know where I've been hanging out. No, I actually like don't
Well,
go
wait,
out.
what
so.
are you saying?
Yeah,
that-
what's-
Okay, it's actually Deck the Hall, not Halls. Everyone always says Deck the Halls.
Oh, I'm so glad it wasn't Balls of Jolly. I was like, have I been saying
I
it
was gonna say
since?
that doesn't
Like, you
make
can't
sense.
take your
Holly
West
is like a
Hollywood
leaf.
remix and say it's not something. But in reality, everyone says
Deck
Halls.
the
You know
Halls.
that.
And it's
Literally,
called
I'm pretty sure I have a song in my iTunes called Deck the Halls.
Actually,
Yeah.
with an S, it's kind of like the lazy version.
Wait.
Deck the halls
So,
with
like,
boughs of
If
holly.
you Google that, there's no S on the title of the song.
I don't know about the title. I didn't get
will
the
I feel like the
Google,
title is one and then the lyrics are different.
And maybe that's what threw
yeah.
popular culture off. The last one that we're gonna hit on
Deck the
today.
Halls.
Oh, so it is called Deck the Halls.
That's confusing.
But then the lyric is Deck the Hall.
Yeah, I don't like
So
that.
they kind of set us up
yeah,
for
that's
failure.
confusing.
Because I want everyone to be singing it in all the halls. So they just called it Deck the Halls, so there would be like
they
a
say hall
sensation.
more than once, so there's plural.
Right.
Yeah, maybe.
By the way, Deck the Hall is the original title, but that was back in 1877. Then it changed to halls because people had
Because-
more than one hall.
Because of us, you know?
Yeah.
The very last one is that the Monopoly man, he doesn't actually have a monocule.
A
Monocle?
What is it? A monocle?
Yeah, I never knew that he had a monocule, but now
Science.
molecules.
No, he doesn't have a
monocle.
thing. You know
I don't
what that
feel like
is.
that was really in my memory as something to be.
I kind of remember it. Are you sure like the McDonald's version didn't
I was
have
gonna say,
one?
I also feel like there's been a lot of versions of that Monopoly Man over the
Yeah.
years.
No, but there's a lot of different versions, but none of them ever have.
None?
No.
Really?
Why?
has to be one
He
out
needs
there.
to step up his fashion game because a monocle would make him so much hotter.
Be very
friend here.
sophisticated.
You're all
So
about the
this
fashion
all
today.
started because of Nelson Mandela, because people thought he died in jail and then he didn't. And
That's, I actually never knew why it was called the Mandela.
You're
like how
welcome.
Lil Wayne died and then died again and then died again.
What?
But that's
Lil
just
Wayne's
Twitter
still making
assassinating
music.
people.
I was gonna say
I
those are
know.
death hoax.
Or like Tupac's dead, but he's not.
If you guys like Death Hoax, we'll do a video on that too, so let us know in the comment section below. But yeah, any last final thoughts?
There is an alternate dimension happening.
No, there's
I have a psychic who went into one. once.
What?
I paid her $250 to tell me that.
She had
Now
just
that
been
you've told
watching.
us that, I believe everything.
Can I pay you nothing and will you tell me about it?
No,
Yeah.
Erin's just been watching too much Stranger Things. But you guys, let us know in the comment section below if you have any that we missed that were really cool, or if you even think this is real or just something that a bored person on the internet made up and now we're
for
making
sure.
even more popular. So do that, and then this video, it also continues just on a different segment because we're breaking this show up because we're cool like that. So click over to the left to see who Taylor Swift will write about in her next album.
Or over to the right to find out what really happened to Robert Pattinson.